Well, that's one of the biggest problems I'm having as a man and as a stroke survivor is I want a job. I need purpose in my life, just like you said. I need it. I don't want it, I need it.
We shouldn't just assume what people with disabilities want and need. We should talk to them. It honors their humanity, and it is in that spirit that I bring this interview to you. Have you ever considered what life is like for adults in your community who are living with disabilities? Hi, my name is Greg Johnston, and I'm an occupational therapist. I have been doing this kind of work for over 25 years, and I've traveled to different parts of the world, and I can tell you that whether it be a poor child with cerebral palsy living in a Bulgarian village, or whether it be right here in my hometown with an adult who's recovering from a stroke, I can tell you one thing is consistent. People are people. We all want to live happy, satisfying lives. We all want our lives to have meaning and purpose. And so what I'm going to bring to you today is an interview I did with a high school classmate of mine, Shawn Parks. A few years back, he had a stroke, and now he's dealing with the effects of that. I think he's doing pretty well with his circumstances, but I wanted to share this with you. I think you'll get a lot of insights from the things that he has to say. Very funny guy, very engaging, and I think you'll enjoy it. So check it out. Okay, hey everybody. Today I'm with an old friend from high school, Shawn Parks. He has been gracious and willing to do an interview with me. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of talk about his life, things he wants to share. Just to give you a little bit of background, he a few years back he had a stroke. He comes down to the downtown area here in Columbus, spends a lot of time, and I've sort of been following him for a while on Facebook, and I just reached out to him and asked him if he would be willing to share his story, and he accepted. So we just finished having lunch, and now I'm gonna just give him an opportunity to tell you about his life. I guess, Shawn, what I want you to do is just kind of just tell me what you remember about your life before you had a stroke, the kinds of things you were involved in.
Softball.
Okay.
Love softball. Played for 6 different teams. Travel teams, everything. Had a blast. Loved it. I was always on a good team, too. That's what was fun about it. We won. I ain't never been no loser.
Okay, you were telling me a little bit about some of the things you were doing work-wise. You mentioned World Series of Poker. Tell me about those things.
I played poker for 5 years, traveled the world, really. Playing poker, trying to win $1 million tournament, never won one. But I ain't giving up on that yet. I'm still ready for it.
It's still in your future, maybe.
Yeah, I used to say, I play for bread and meat. I don't win, I don't eat.
Okay, there you go.
I used to say, I'll play any man in the land, any game that he can name for any amount that he can count.
So tell me about sort of your social circle that you had before the stroke and maybe leading up to it.
I hung out with the same people I hung out with in high school. David Forsythe, Bianca Rohr, Angel Batiste.
Okay.
Partied, had fun, didn't live right, didn't take care of my temple like I should have. Tried almost any drug on the planet except crack, heroin, and meth. Was always scared of them. Never tried them because I was afraid my addictive personality, I'd like them. So I never touched them, still won't.
So tell me a little bit about the day that you had a stroke. Things that you shared a little bit of that with me at lunch, but for people who weren't with us at lunch was everybody else. Just kind of talk me through that a little bit.
Woke up that morning. I put a lot of stress on my body the night before. The day before was my mom's birthday, and we had a big family get together barbecue, and I overstressed myself that day. So I think that had something to do with it. Got up the next morning, did what I did before I went to work every morning. And on the way to work, I had wrecked and woke up in the hospital.
Okay. So, and what were your earliest memories after the wreck?
All my family coming to see me. I mean, literally, 25 people. The doctors and nurses were telling them they had to come back because I had too many.
Okay.
But it was amazing.
Yeah. Tell me, and you said you talked a little bit about when you became aware that you were going to have some issues. Can you just address that a little bit?
That night, the day I had stroke, that night I got up. They told me that not to get out of bed, but it has not really hit me of how bad I was in. And I got up out of the bed, somehow made it to the toilet, which is in a separate room in your hospital room. You had to walk around. And I made it to the toilet, was using the restroom, and fell off the toilet. And the nurses come in to check on me and found me. And they told me, you cannot get out of that bed without assistance ever. Do not get out of that bed. And at that moment, I realized my life had changed. Everything was different from that point on.
You know, I'm an occupational therapist, so I have a special interest in that. I do want to make sure we talk about kind of generally things that the supports you had around you. But can you talk a little bit about the therapy you may have received or not received, or how did that go?
Well, the first 2 months I couldn't move my leg, so I couldn't get no therapy there. And they come work my paralyzed arm every morning. Oh, she was cute. And it's still, after 6 years later, it's still useless. But I'm not giving up on it. Just like God gave me my leg back, He can give me my arm back. In the meantime, I'm thinking about going. I joined the YMCA this month because I'm not happy with my weight gain. And I'm planning on getting this arm as big as I can get it.
Okay.
Because it's the only one I can use.
Yeah.
I need to be strong.
Yeah.
And this arm that I call useless, I'm just going to get tattooed up from my shoulder to my wrist.
All right. It's good to have a vision and a dream for how you're going to do things.
Right.
Okay.
But thankfully, my insurance paid for my YMCA, so I don't have to pay the $25 copay every month. They told me to call me this morning on the way down here, actually. They told me I don't have to pay anything.
Well, that's nice. So do you have any guidance when you go to the YMCA, or you just kind of do what you think makes sense?
I do what I want.
Okay.
Mainly go to the pool.
Okay.
Because for some reason, when I get in the water, I can put weight on my leg without this brace. But I can't swim with one arm. I do it circles.
Well, being in the water magically makes you lighter, so that helps you.
Right.
Helps a lot. I used to do when I was a student therapist. I did a little bit of pool therapy. So I had an older gentleman that I used to work with who was very interested in the pool, and my supervisor said, "Hey, why don't you go do pool therapy with him?" And we weren't really. No one really taught me what to do. We just sort of got in there and figured it out. But it was really good for him.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And talk about how you get around town and how often you do that. Are there any barriers for you?
The barriers for me is money.
Okay.
For $26.50 a month, I can buy a monthly bus pass, but it ain't in the budget.
Okay.
So I get half off my tickets. Anyone else, for you, Greg, it'd be $52 a month.
Okay.
I get 65 cents a trip, so whenever I do have some money and I want to go see somebody or go do something, I get on the bus that has lifts that come down and take you anywhere you want in the city of Columbus.
Okay.
So that's how I get out. But when I don't go on the bus and go somewhere, I always come down here to Broadway to hang out because they always have live music 5-6 nights a week because Picasso's. They have somebody outside doing music, and I love live music. Even though I can't sing, I love to hear it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I do enjoy coming down here and hearing the live music. There's just something special about it. My son played a little bit at the Loft when they used to have a blues night. He would come up and play those things. Have you ever been up there and done that?
I have, but it was before my stroke.
Yeah.
I know they have an elevator. I don't drink, so I don't go to bars.
I got you. Okay.
And the Loft is a bar.
Right. Yeah.
It's a restaurant bar. I bit my tongue on my left side. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's weak.
Yeah. Do you
It's
need a
always
break?
at times.
Do you need a break? Well,
No.
Okay.
I'm just tasting the blood.
All right. So one thing that I remember about Shawn from high school, and I should say for those who tune into this, Shawn and I, we kind of ran in some of the same circles, but we never really hung out together. We weren't really close or anything, but we know a lot of the same people. We were in high school together. But one of the things that I remember about Shawn was he always had that entrepreneurial spirit. You're always selling something, even in high school. I told my kids, I said, this guy was always selling these candy bars. I think you were selling like blow pops or something.
I would get a box of blow pops right down here downtown for I think $6. It had 100 of them in it. And I take them to school and sell them for 25 cents a piece and made money.
Yeah, my kids, when I was telling them that story, they said the school system fundraisers has taken over that market. Kids can't do it anymore.
Oh, well, I wasn't allowed in. I got caught several times. Mr. Gary, when I explained to him I was trying to help my family with the profits. But I really was, but I was doing it for me.
Yeah. So what about friends?
I am blessed to have a posse, not just a group, a posse of friends. I've always been a people person, but more so now.
Okay.
And I've got a group. If I need anything, all I have to do is contact them, and I get it done.
Yeah. Are they the same group of friends you had before, or is it a different group?
Different group.
Okay. Okay.
You find out who your friends are when something drastic happens to you.
Yeah.
Now, David, best friend I've ever had, pretty much, other than Antoine.
Okay.
But in my adult life, David's my best friend.
Okay. Tell me about what you do to fill your days. How do you make your days purposeful?
Well, that's one of the biggest problems I'm having as a man and as a stroke survivor is I want a job. I need purpose in my life, just like you said. I need it. I don't want it. I need it. My roommate is talking about moving out. I was blessed. God sent me, when I lost my house, God sent me to a friend who allowed me to move into her house down here on Broadway and rent a room from her.
Yeah.
And she's talking about moving out. And if she moves, I either got to find a roommate, which is impossible, to find anyone like her, because she's awesome.
Yeah.
I really feel like God sent me there. And if she moves, I'm not going to be able to afford this place by myself.
Yeah.
Even though the rent is kind of cheap for a historic district. I pay half the rent now, half the bills and everything.
You live in this area?
Yeah, First Avenue.
Okay.
It takes me 7 minutes to get down here on my wheels.
So for purpose, you're talking about finding work and the need to have work for financial reasons. Do you do other things that maybe are not financial that you feel like serve an important purpose for you?
Well, I come down here and I try to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. I roll around with my music playing all the time. I carry 2 Bluetooths. When one battery goes down, I turn another one on.
Okay.
And
I noticed on Facebook, you're sort of a kind of an advocate for people coming downtown and getting involved in things. So that's one of your purposes that I've noticed from a distance.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's fun down here, though.
Yeah, it is.
And I tried to get a job with Columbus Uptown. But Ross Horner, who was the director, stepped down and took another job. So now I'm at the start, I got to start all over. If I can get on with them, heck, they got guys riding around that do their work on a bike. I can do it on a wheelchair. But last week I was having dinner at the Cannon Brew Pub, and I was speaking to the manager, and he offered me a job as a host.
Okay.
So when business gets back to normal. So I don't know how long this is going to be, but it gives me hope.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And I think it'd be an ideal position for me.
Yeah.
Because I can talk to anybody and take them to a table.
I believe you can. I know you can. You've been training your whole life for that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Hostess with the mostest.
There you go. If someone is in a similar situation to where you found yourself after your stroke, is there anything you could tell them, any encouragement or any advice that you think would be helpful to them?
Never give up. And the word can't does not need to be in your vocabulary. Change I can't to I'll try. That's big. That's what I had a friend, my cousin, was a roommate with me for 2 years after my stroke.
Yeah.
And he would tell me every time I said I can't, say stop it. Say I'll try.
Yeah.
So that's been my motto.
Okay. So
would you like me to tell you my typical day?
Go ahead.
Wake up usually whenever the medicine wears off, because I do have to take sleep aids because I have insomnia from a stroke. I'll usually get up, and when we're having new shows on TV, we don't have them right now because of COVID-19, I'll watch whatever show that I like from the night before on Hulu and try to go back to sleep most days if it's early. And then when I do wake up, take me a shower, which is the hardest thing I've had to do to learn. Because when I just moved downtown a couple years ago. When I lived at my house, we had a standard tub. But now at this place, we have a stand-up shower. And it makes it very difficult for me to get in there with my brace on and all that. But I've got it learned. I've got it where I'm not scared anymore. I have to use a shower chair and all. I finally got a hold of it.
So
I take me a shower, then if my roommate cooks breakfast, I eat with her. Like I did this morning, I had French toast.
Okay. So did like you mentioned a shower chair. How did you come about that? Was it something that was provided to you, or did you have to go search for it? Or
I had to buy it.
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay. Did anyone give you any advice on what to get?
Nothing. I had nobody to help me with stuff like that.
Okay.
Except one friend, Corey Baker, came over to my old house and put the bar in the bathroom to lift me up off the toilet. Because right when I got out of the hospital, my friend Brandon Maxey, who thank God came to see me yesterday down here, he was a next door neighbor, did 6 tours of Iraq, Afghanistan, and Iran. He's a war hero.
Yeah.
I had to call him up and help me off the toilet. Very humbling.
Yeah.
I mean, that was rough. But I had no choice.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday, laughing about it.
Yeah. It's good that you can keep a sense of humor about that. I know that some people get themselves in a lot of trouble because of pride, keeping them from asking for things that they really need.
That is very hard on me. But my mom, when I was little, I remember my mom was a very religious lady, and she told me a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
She said it's in the Bible somewhere. And so if I'm hungry, because there are times when I'm dead broke at the end of the month, like right now, I got $18 in my pocket. And there comes times where I'll have to go up to someone and say, hey man, will you buy me lunch and I'll get you back when I get paid? So I've got a few locations down here that will run a tab for me. I'm blessed to have that.
Yeah.
So if I'm hungry, I can eat every day. I normally eat if I want to. But yeah, it's hard to ask for anybody for anything when you've always been the one that provided for everybody else.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I'm curious what you would say about. Obviously, no one wants to have a stroke. But can you look back on this whole experience and say there were blessings in the process?
Yes, definitely. It was a blessing that when I had my stroke, all my friends combined and pitched in $3,500.
Wow.
That went make sure the bills were paid because I wasn't receiving a check until my stroke happened in June. I got approved for another blessing. Is a girl that we graduated with, mom happened to be assigned. God did this. Assigned my caseworker, Lisa Faircloth.
Okay.
Her mom is my caseworker.
Okay.
So I got approved for disability in 3 months. Yeah, people have to wait years for that mess.
Yeah.
So are there things that you used to enjoy, but it's just too much trouble now?
Going to visit my friends.
Okay.
That sucks because most of them work during the day when I ain't doing nothing. Buses stop at 6:30 now, so I can't take the bus to their house. So that leaves me one day, Saturday pretty much. And usually I'm blessed every Saturday one of my friends will come down here, either take me to lunch or hang out with me. I see David every Saturday pretty much. I have to be cut corners where I never had to before. I always had since I was 9 years old selling newspapers, I had a pocket full of money all my life.
Yeah.
Then I really had a lot when I was playing poker. Yeah. I won one tournament on Poker Stars for $225,000.
But you're coming back, right? You say you're
coming back.
All right.
I don't know if they can see it on the camera, but I got me a little tattoo.
Yeah, you got to pull it up a little bit higher. Let me help you there. Oh, there you go. All right.
And the next time they show them, I have guns.
There you go. Well, you said one, right? You got to work on the right side.
God, give me this back. I'll get it as strong as I can.
There you go. Yeah, you need to work on both sides for sure.
I dream at night that I'm throwing curveballs, standing on my throne with my left hand.
Yeah, because you were saying earlier you're left-handed naturally. Right. Yeah, so that even gives you more of a challenge because the stroke affected your left side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier about 2004 when my stomach blew up inside of me. That night that it happened, there was literally 60 or 70 people in the hospital because they thought I was going to die. They didn't think I was going to survive that.
When was that?
04. 10 years before my stroke.
Okay.
But God pulled me through. He's got me here for a reason. And I wish you'd hurry up and tell me why. I think it's to be that grandpa and that little baby girl I got.
Yeah, could be. Could be a lot of different reasons though.
Right.
Well, yeah. Hopefully something pans out for you. Maybe this restaurant opportunity.
I hope
That sounds promising.
so. And I also have in my mind, you know how in New York they have messenger service on bikes?
Yeah.
What if these people need something done down here? I can start making some cards.
Yeah.
You need wheels or something. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, you got these couple of different coffee shops here. You could connect with all these businesses downtown. Do you need me to deliver some coffee or something?
That might be tricky. I can figure it out. I can give you a cart
I'm
full.
sure. I mean, you just got to think about this stuff. I mean, you got the right mind for it, for sure.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'll make it.
Yeah, you figure something out. Let me ask you one last thing, because you mentioned your roommate a couple of times. Do you feel like having her around enables you to live more independently, or are y'all just kind of sharing space?
We're sharing space, but for a very reasonable fee, she does my laundry, cleans my room, stuff that's hard for me to do.
Does she have any kind of disability or any conditions?
No, she's normal. She works for Amazon.
Okay. So she's helping you with things that would just be difficult for you to do.
Sweeping is so funny. I mean, I try not to lose my balance, but it's fun.
Uh-huh.
I get it done sweeping. The hard part is getting it swept into a dustpan. I need to give you one of them industrial ones that you sit on the ground and it opens up.
Mm-hmm.
That's my next thing I'm gonna get.
Okay.
I can just sweep it in that dustpan and then pick it up and it's in there. Dump it into a trash bag. Yesterday, this is funny. It's funny to me. I take my trash, I get the trash bags, I get full clothes, 2 strings, makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because I'm not tying no flap tie with one hand. I get those kind of hung it on back on my garbage back on here to take it to the road.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to put it in the road and rolled around all day down here. And on the bus with trash.
And nobody said anything.
Nobody said a word. When I got home last night, got comfortable, laid in my bed, lit me up what I do. I looked over there and said, damn, I didn't put my trash off. I have a cat, so I clean the litter box every morning before I leave.
Uh-huh.
Had her dropping it in the bag and everything.
So you're traveling around all day going, what's that smell?
I never smelled anything. You can edit that.
Yeah.
It's a true story. True story.
All right. Well, Shawn, I don't know that I have any other questions for you, but I do appreciate you giving me your time to do this. Yeah, I had to stop down here and visit with you more often. I have a little bit of free time this summer. It'll be good. We got each other's information now. We can connect.
Well, I really enjoyed my time with Shawn, and I hope that you were able to gain some valuable insights from his life that may apply to the lives of the people that you know, that you will be able to better serve them, at least have a better understanding of what they're really dealing with in their lives. And I just want to now turn it to you and ask you a few questions. Is there anything that Shawn said that really surprised you? Is there anything that that will make a difference in the way that you interact with or care for the people around you who have disabilities? I want to be able to do more interviews like this in the future. So what I would ask of you is to provide me with some feedback. If you don't mind, go in the comments below. Let me know what you liked about the interview, what you didn't like, and most importantly, let me know if you think there are questions that would have been good to ask or questions that would be good to ask of future interviews. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully we'll get more of these down the road. And I think it's really just a wonderful thing to be able to do to put people in front of you who has some challenges and let them tell their stories in their own words. It's a way to show respect for them, to honor their humanity. One last thing. If you've seen other videos of mine, you know that I do a lot of therapy videos for children, and the reason that I talk about adults with disabilities, and I also share activities for children with disabilities, is because I have one key interest, and that is improving the lives of people who have disabilities. That's across the lifespan. I think when we're working with children who have disabilities, we need to always keep in mind where we're headed. We're moving towards adulthood. We want to make sure that we are equipping our children with skills for living, and that's really what my purpose is in working with even the very youngest children. I think starting early and investing in them, and working with people who have disabilities at every stage in life is going to be good for them. It's going to just give them more resources to be successful, to enjoy the lives that are ahead of them. So that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and come back next time where hopefully I'll have some good content for you. All right. Bye.
I'm never gonna give up. Never.
Yeah.
I want to get back to as close as normal as I can. I want to go back to work.
Yeah.